Welcome back. With an array of unexpected weather patterns that we experience during the winter months in this area, it's important to understand what it takes to prepare for snow and ice storms here in the Wake County area. Joining us today to talk about safety tips for this winter is Jeffrey Hammerstein, District Chief for Wake County Emergency Medical Systems. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Eric.
What types of winter weather emergencies does Wake County EMS typically respond to this time of year?
Any variety like you would expect. Certainly we have falls in snow and ice. We have automobile accidents as a result of slick roads. And then there are those who suffer from exposure to the cold, whether it's somebody who has an unheated home or an underheated home, maybe someone who doesn't have a home, who is out in the elements for a long period of time, those type of emergencies. Not as common are things like frostbite and risk of frostbite, but we certainly do see those on occasion as well.
One, I guess, common thing during this time of year, during ice storms and even big snowfalls, you have a lot of folks going outside, whether to play or to shovel snow from sidewalks, driveways, a lot of exposure out probably longer than they should have been, whether it's to play or to actually try to prevent further problems around their homes. What are some tips can you give to residents and some of the signs they should look for if they decide to venture out?
Certainly, we certainly don't fault anyone for wanting to go out and play in the snow. I mean, who doesn't like to do that? And of course, we do have to keep the house clean and tidy and keep the sidewalks clear so that we can walk up safely. When you're shoveling snow, always keep in mind that's a lot of pretty heavy exertion, so keep an eye on yourself with that. If you feel like you may be at risk for some heart-related or breathing problems, it's definitely important to pace yourself with something like shoveling snow. Do a little bit at a time, take a break and come back out and do some more. So it's definitely true, Eric, that you want to limit your exposure. Make sure that you're well covered. Fingertips, toes, that type of thing, your nose, your earlobes, all of those things that are out there in the cold for a long period of time can certainly be subject to frostbite or cold weather injury as a result of that. So make sure you're pretty well wrapped up and not out for too long at any one time.
And what are some of the signs you should look for as it relates to frostbite?
Certainly, with the cold, we know things start to go numb. Pay attention to that. If things are starting to feel numb or burning sensation or itching sensation, that's your body telling you that piece has been exposed too long and we need to do something about it. Probably get back inside and get warmed up.
And what about EMS responding to a number of traffic-related calls during icy conditions? First, what are some of the types of calls that you and your men and women must respond to, but also what are some tips you can give to motorists and passengers if they're involved in car accidents along icy roads or patches during the winter months?
Sure. One of the luxuries we have in this area is that we don't have frequent snowstorms and ice all through the winter typically on a typical winter. So when it does hit us, sometimes it hits us a little bit harder. What we've seen recently in recent years, the ice and snow that hit right at rush hour, so we know we have a lot of traffic out there. You know, every year law enforcement talks about if you don't have to be out there, please don't be out there. One of the complications that comes from so much traffic on the road in the ice is that as traffic kind of gets paralyzed or cars slide off the road and block the shoulders and block the byways and traffic is not moving through well, that makes it quite a bit more difficult for EMS to respond to emergencies. We, without a doubt, see a surge in emergency EMS requests for traffic accidents during those times, very understandably, but that's a big surge. In addition to that, anytime something like that is happening, the normal flow of 911 calls don't stop just because it's snowing outside. So we still have the medical calls, we still have the unrelated injuries, all of those. It makes it quite a challenge to get through that traffic and get to places. Now, we're still going to do that. We're still coming, but it makes it more difficult. So if anyone that possibly can keep themselves off the road, we have lots of forecasts available. Pay attention if we know the roads are going to be difficult and we can do something other than go out and about, or if we can leave work a little bit early and get home. I know that's difficult for some. Certainly that's all the better for the response system. When people are in a traffic accident, in the ice and snow. I'm sure it can be quite scary to feel like you're out there in the dark, in the snow, and no one's coming. Most people have cell phones. If you can get a cell phone, give us a call. All the information you can, tell us exactly where we are, and we'll definitely be on the way. Sit, stay calm, keep the information coming to the 911 folks, and we'll be there as quickly as we possibly can.
And I guess the final tip that you can offer to residents during the winter months.
Pay attention to the forecast. If we know that it's going to be snowy and icy, make plans for that so that you can keep yourself safe, so that you can keep yourself off the road, and just know that we're on the way.
Jeffrey Hammerstein, District Chief for Wake County EMS, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us, Eric.